Session Zero to the campaign, A Day to Remember. This is in the world of Anima, a world that is full of not only just wonder, but also horrors and unspeakable creatures that lurk at the knees. We are following 7 adventurers today to explore the world, and they newly discover a world of Vulpus. If y'all want to introduce yourself, you can go ahead.
I'll go ahead. Michael, I'm playing the character Lucilla Silverbell. She is roughly like 5'2", like 110 pounds, maybe. Like super small, kind of naive looking girl. She has long dark hair and olive skin, like almost like a Greek background or Roman background. Except her right arm is covered in blue scales, and she has long talon-like nails on that right hand. She mainly wears like crystal blue, like so light sky blue clothing, mostly robes or a dress, and like a hooded cloak with like a band around her forehead. That's Lucilla Silverbell.
I didn't know we were doing our character introduction after right now. Okay.
Alright, whoever wants to go next. How about we,
I'll go.
Yeah.
My name is Colin. I'll be playing Formic Caskarn. I am a dwarven cleric, about 5'4", weighing 160 pounds. Pretty tall for a dwarf, I know. Beefy, though. He has a silver gray eyes, shrouding the knowledge that he knows, and light tan skin, with a flowing reddish brown braided beard that comes down about mid-chest, followed by short hair about to shoulder length.
Alright. Now we can go on to the next person.
Alright. I'm Harrison, and I'm going to be playing Oliver the Harrier Driftheart. He is a rabbit folk rogue, standing about 5 feet tall, with a beige to tawny fur, brown eyes, clad mostly in leather armor with a metal pauldron on his left shoulder, and a brace of daggers running from his left shoulder to his right hip, with a relatively standard issue appearing blade hanging on his left hip. The blade is long, but otherwise fairly unremarkable. It is a rapier.
Alright. If whoever wants to go next can speak up now.
Hi, I'm Tim, and I am playing Rory Manara. My intro is written in I thought this was going to be in-game, so I just read it as is. So, in the distance, you see a short woman about 5'2" in height, sporting a mane of messy mahogany-colored hair that complements her steely green eyes. As you get closer, you can discern the woman's about 23, 24ish in terms of age. She has a large pack strapped to her back, upon which you can visibly see a number of odds and ends such as bedrolls, nettings, bear traps, even a shield. But what really catches your attention is the assortment of weapons she bears. Strapped to her person and pack is a hand axe, longsword, and most strikingly a greatsword, almost as tall as the one bearing it. Yet even under such a heavy load, the woman seems to have no trouble bearing it at all. As far as equipment, she seems to be wearing a mix of leathers and armors, strategically plating so that she can have maneuverability as she moves through the field.
Alright. Alright, now we can go on to the next person.
I'll step up here. Cool guy Frank here. I'm going to be playing Sarai Petra. You see this cowboy-looking dude coming from the distance. He's of average height, not too tall, not too short, about 5'8". He's got long blonde hair that's tied back to fit his hat, basically. Large cowboy-like hat. Around the hat, there's a bunch of trinkets, lots of things. Specifically, that he has like little tassels, I guess, on the interim insides of the hat to kind of basically hide his ears, but they don't really do a good job. He'd have to stand perfectly still. Around the hatband, he has a pair of goggles along the bowl of the hat, I guess. Sarai wears a vest and a short sleeve leather coat. Under all of which, he wears a dark gray shirt. He wears long leather boots, which are really messed up, but they've done their job. They've been patched up to almost perfect condition, though. Alongside his right pant leg, you can actually see a whip that is almost immaculately maintained by him.
Nice. Alright, and now to our final member here. Would you like to go?
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm going to be playing Amara Anto. You see before you a woman who appears to be human, with very pale skin, dark white hair, a wide brim hat that covers brownish red eyes. You can see her fiddling with the necklace. And she wears baggy clothes and a dark traveler's cloak.
Oh,
You're to be around 23 years old, and stands around 5'10".
alright. And me, I am Alex. I am DMing this campaign today. And with that, we can get started with the intro into this new world, so to say. To start off, we are after a mysterious ship bearing black sails that have red symbols of a woman with 7 tentacles around her. We jump into when all our adventurers are heading into this ship, about to embark into this new world. The ship itself is quite big and magnificent, sporting gilded gold around the edges with dark umber making up the majority of the ship. And at the nose of the ship, you can see a woman with tendrils coming out of her that go to the midpoint of the ship and just kind of starts slowly wrapping around. The captain of the ship, who only calls himself as Tough Blood, proclaims a new land that was once forgotten. A land of magic and knowledge that was all but forgotten by the rest of the world. Asking those who seek adventure and knowledge to come aboard, if they so dare. For the adventure there, for the journey there is quite dangerous. Many losing their lives in the waters. And with that, we can go into everyone arriving on the ship. As you all step onto the ship, the crew is not what you kind of expect. You expect something a little bit more professional, a little bit more on task and on time, but what you see here kind of seems like a bunch of pirates. They're kind of just getting drunk, they're kind of like just fighting each other. You see people kind of knocked down on the ground, either by alcohol or by gold kind of strewn about as people are kind of singing sea shanties everywhere you go. And at the wheel of the ship, you see this man who is, you can tell he is definitely older, sporting short, dark brown hair with peppers of white in it, but also sporting a beard to kind of go along with it that goes all the way down to the bottom of his chest. He kind of gives this presence of authority and mischief, but also at the same time of experience. Now going through your ship, how do you all react?
I would say Lucilla, or Lucy, is a little keeping to herself. She's constantly writing in like her notebook, noting down actions people are taking. She's studying the ship and the like make and all that kind of stuff. but definitely staying away from any of the ruffian that you have described.
Alright.
Like Sarah's he's fastening his collar and like he's shimmying it a bit, trying to make himself comfortable, trying to awkwardly look for a place to sit down. Not too far away from the action, but not so that he'll get in the way or anything.
Alright.
Oliver will hop aboard the ship with the grace of a practiced sailor, and glance nervously behind him to make sure that the rather unfortunate companions he's recently met are not en route. And seeing as they're not, he will duck behind the railing of the ship and go to make himself inconspicuous somewhere else.
Nice.
I think Amara will find somewhere where she can lean back against something. Probably not the side of the ship, just in case the water goes over it. Just have her back protected, keep an eye on everything around her. Just gazing up over that and fiddling.
I come out from the inside of the ship carrying a giant cask with me in my arms as I approach the side of the railing and toss it overboard.
Tough blood gives notice to this and... I see. You've been for tradition already. Good.
Well, if we're to sail the seas, I might as well.
You might need to put a little bit of extra. I don't know how much the sea bitch likes people returning, so to say.
You're right. Well, I'll be going back to work on the next batch, I suppose.
Good. Now, seeing that no one else seems to be coming aboard, and seems like one of our crew members is no doubt hiding from something, we might as well set
Scruffy?
sail. Yeah. No, the newer fella, Oliver.
Why are they on the ship again?
Well, you know the ship. We constantly need the men.
Fair point.
Alright, you all better get ready. And to all those new aboard, you better prepare yourselves for the ride isn't going to be too smooth. You might as well put your stuff down under. There's a room waiting for you all.
Can I just ask a quick question? What race is Tough Blood?
He's actually human.
Human. Okay, cool. Figured, but yeah. During that conversation, Lucy is just like in awe and fucking staring at like watching the cast go over, like looking between Formic and Tough Blood having this conversation, but and like writing everything down.
Formic is in some not so shiny chainmail at the moment, but you can see kind of strapped to his side is a warhammer, and to his back a shield bearing the crest of the sea bitch, the goddess Umberly.
And as you're looking at Tough Blood, what's most peculiar about him is actually he has a heavy limp. Like it looks like he's struggling to walk, but walks with the confidence of kings. And his eye, he has one big eye made of gold that seems to still operate like a regular eye. As he kind of looks to you, Lucy, and goes, I see we have a curious one here. Good.
Yes, I'm from the libraries of Soul, so any information I can gather of even people, biographies, the ship itself, great information to have and eventually write.
I see. Well, let's hope that curiosity doesn't become the end of you. Don't want you falling overboard now.
She kind of looks over and like grimaces about like the idea of falling overboard, and just like, yeah, that should be the plan.
Well,
And,
I'm
like,
sure if you make a good deal, she'll throw you back over into here, I'm sure.
Hopefully he doesn't mistake you as an offering. It's kind of just like a boisterous laugh as he
she kind of like points her quill at Formic and just like, yeah, and then just like turns around and goes down to like the hold where she or wherever she has a bed can like put her stuff.
I share the laugh with Ball.
Yeah. Lucy, as you go into the room is not as accommodating as you read in stories or even kind of read about in other schematics. It's kind of just like a room full of hammocks with what you can kind of see is there's cabinets above to put your luggage. Doesn't look too secure and looks like it's kind of just done in the last seconds.
Okay, yeah, she like puts her small pack like very much the essentials except for like her book that's always like her journal that's always with her and all that. She just like lays that in like a hammock that she assumes is okay to claim, and then it immediately goes to like back writing in her journal.
Alright. Now the captain, after having that laugh, or like you see him kind of getting that serious face of a captain, you know that we are about to embark on this journey.
I best get back to my station, I suppose.
Yeah, aye. It's gonna be a long trip. A lot of booze to be brewed.
Yes, yes indeed. I better get start working.
And with that, to the rest of you all, you hear a man yell out in a deep voice to gather all your shit up. We're setting sail now. Won't be until a couple months till we get back. As you all set off. And
For those of you who are staying on this ship, not as members of the crew, you may follow me down to where your sleeping quarters are.
Sarai will gladly pick up his things, frantically checking to see if he actually forgot anything, and go with this large man. Or not large. Is he a large man?
How tall?
Or dwarf.
5'8".
You're taller. I'm 5'4".
Yeah,
Stout
but
man.
he's big for a dwarf.
Yeah.
I am wide. I am not tall.
Yeah.
I think Amara would not be happy about the prospect of going down into a cramped quarters, but she'll find a corner to sit in and try to.
alright. And with that, we can make a transition into our other member who is not currently here on the ship with us. We move on to Rory. She is making a trip to Anima Mea to meet her old master and father. How would you describe your trip back to Anima Mea? Where was the last place you've been, you would say?
Well, we were out in the dog shit wilderness. I have to say it so. And these motherfucking shit ass storms were fucking pain in my fucking ass. So, yeah, I'd say this trip has not been a fun experience. Me and Tark were just having a nice trip out there and fucking earthquake. Can't ever forget shit, Vulpus.
Yes. Vulpus is a very unpredictable and dangerous lands to traverse. So you've seen many wonders, have you?
Yeah, there's a lot out there in these woods. Land is wild, put it easily. You know, fucking blood trees, the mana storms, earthquakes. Find new shit every day.
You've been traveling by yourself now for
2 months.
alright. And as you are traversing on the road to Via to partake in the celebration, but also to reconnect with your old master, you see a woman on the road ahead of you. She seems to be not doing the best. You see she's kind of just trudging along, kind of head and shoulders down. She's barely moving and kind of swaying back and forth a bit until eventually collapsing on the side of the road. Do you help her? Or do you keep moving?
Rory's walking along, sees this, just sighs, walks up and goes, "You need any help, miss?"
As you walk up to her, she is actually. I can just pull up an image. Let me do that. I'll still describe it. Uh, it's this woman with golden blonde hair. But it's still long, but still enough to kind of have two ponytails on the side. She has bright blue eyes and wearing a cloak of black and purple. She looks rough. Her hair is kind of matted now. Her peach skin is showing wear and tear and dirt all over. And she kind of weakly looks up and says, "Yes, please. I've seen to my supplies were kind of taken from me a while back. I would be most gracious if I were to help me a bit. Do you have any water that I can maybe have a bit of?"
Rory sighs and goes, yeah, there's too many of these types around here. Just reaches into her pack and pulls out a couple days worth of rations and water.
You see her kind of still trying to be mindful with how much she's taking, which is hard. You can kind of see the restraint she has as she's kind of eating and drinking the water. You can tell it's been a while since she's had some. Oh, thank you, thank you. You don't mind me asking, where are you going? Where are you traveling to?
Anima Mea. It's out ahead still, some couple days maybe.
Oh, you are? That's actually quite a coincidence. I was actually going the same way.
Just about everyone is this time of the year.
Well, in that case, I was wondering if I could maybe travel with you? You know, safety in numbers type of thing?
Rory thinks about it in sighs and just says, depends. I can give you some food and rations if it'll help you on your way, but what can you offer this effort?
Well, it may not look like it, you know, running on an empty tank, but I am actually quite a skilled, quite skilled in arcane arts, you can say. As you do kind of see the spell book on her side, kind of dangling. Maybe someone to watch your back while you sleep, not to get ambushed.
How about this, miss? I just give you a couple days of rations and we'll travel in the same direction, not together. Alright? If something happens, I'll help you, but we don't need to make this too much of a formal relationship, alright?
Of course, of course.
We keep each other's distance.
Of course, of course. Anything is good. Thank you. Bows and is kind of behind you.
And I guess we just start heading back off. I do keep myself aware of her presence at all times. This is, to use current day lingo, kind of sus.
Alright. And after you eventually travel out of the forest. As the sun slowly starts to go down into night, you start setting. I would guess you would start setting up for camp.
Probably. I've got all my supplies on me. I'm used to this.
All right. And not too far ahead, not too far behind, you do see, or she is attempting to try to make a fire to no avail. Kind of getting frustrated and trying to use a spell to maybe light her campfire. But again, magic may be a little bit too strong for the matter as it kind of bursts throwing wood shards in all sorts of directions.
Not my problem.
All right. Now, with that, I need you to make me a perception check, please.
I had a feeling something like this was gonna happen. Alright, what does a 24 get me? It is a natural 20, by the way.
Oh my
so
god.
I get the
One in
best result no matter
400
what.
chance. Rolled 2 of them.
Jesus Christ. So, this would be
You wanna-
near the time, like maybe you're about to go down to sleep.
By the way,
Mhm.
I'm sleeping up in a hammock. I've hammock up in the trees. Don't sleep
Alright.
on the ground.
Gotcha. As you were kind of heading out to sleep before you go into the empty void that is sleep, you kind of hear some rustling. Not just some, you hear kind of a lot. It's not really quiet. It sounds like someone's trying to sneak by.
Yeah, I'm not liking this. I'm up in this tree, so I'm just gonna go, lean up against one of my hands on my, put my hands on the great sword, get ready, and if something goes below me, I'm going to smash it with the sword.
Alright. It just starts creeping closer and closer and closer. It does get in range of you to try to attack. I need you to make me an attack roll then.
Yep, I wasn't ready for this, so let's see how this goes. Does an 18 hit?
It does indeed hit.
Let me roll that damage then, because we'll find out whatever I'm killing. Does 11 hurt it pretty well?
11 does indeed hurt it. You hear a cry sound out as it falls from the tree you're at. Though it is not dead, though whatever it is not dead. The voice is deep and definitely not of, I would say, it definitely is not a voice of a woman.
What do we have here? I say.
Oh, fucking bitch! Who the fuck?
Hey, don't fucking climb my tree.
What the fuck you just text someone randomly?
You're in my fucking tree. You're gonna fucking attack me. Don't do this shit to me. I fucking got you at sword point right now. Shut the fuck up.
Well, now I'm gonna attack you, of course. Fucking bitch, as he...
I go for another attack immediately.
Well, he fell from the tree. He is below your attack.
Yeah. I'll fucking jump from the tree to hit him.
Okay, and before you... I need you to roll it. I need to roll, initiate. Oh my god.
Initiative?
Yeah, initiative. Holy shit.
Alright, can you, I'm just gonna throw a token on the map to make it easier.
Yeah. I should have done that.
Alright, I've got a 16 for my initiative.
Alright, well... With that, you can make the first attack then.
Yeah, I'm going right in for another, let's see. I'm going right in for another, good old longsword. Well, not longsword, greatsword.
Alright.
How about a 15?
A
Does 15 hurt?
Yeah, a 15 does indeed hit.
Yeah, I'm going in for another, good old slashy stab with the, greatsword.
Alright.
How does another 11 damage sound to you?
Well, as...
It sounds like a death to me.
Yeah, as you are coming down from the tree, sword and ready, you slash down upon this man who, upon further looking, is look worse for wear as well, but he does indeed have a sword out. The way he's trying to do something nefarious with it. He looks at you in horror as you slice down upon him, falling to the ground dead.
Alright, well then, guess it's time to figure out what the fuck just happened here. So I, walk back over the tree I was in, climb back up, grab my supplies out of it, get the, flint and steel, torches, light it up, get a good inspection of this here body.
Yeah, I should look into the body. It looks like a beautiful old man. He is very skinny, able to see his bones protruding from the skin, especially at the ribs. He has leather armor, so it looks torn and beat up. He's quite small, actually. Smaller than you would actually expect. It wasn't much of a challenge at this point. But as you're kind of investigating, you do hear a voice kind of saying like, "Oh shit, I didn't know someone was coming by him. I'm so sorry, I heard something, I heard someone fall, I thought maybe something was happening. I came over to try to check it out, but..."
Don't worry about it. Things happen. I say, giving her a side eye, and can I make an insight check to make sure she's not lying to me at this point?
Of course.
Insight. How does a 24 hit?
Jesus.
That's another nat 20.
What is this?
Tell me how she feels.
Alright. So, you do see genuine concern in her eye. She seems to be telling the truth in terms of, like, this did catch her by surprise. This person did come up. And you see she has her spellbook ready just in case she had to get into action. But seeing how you're able to take care of yourself, she does not. She does not. She kind of relaxes a bit and puts the book onto her side. And now you see she's kind of flustered a bit.
All right. I just, I repeat I go back, repeat my statement. I say, don't worry about it. It happens. I think he was coming from my direction more so than yours. Just head on back. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure? Okay. I got it. Okay, got it. She kind of goes back to her camp, and you do notice she kind of brings it by a little bit closer a bit. Like, nothing to in your like personal space or your personal area, but just enough where she might have a better time hearing if something happens.
It's understandable. I can see where she's going now. I got a genuine feel of her. I'll let this happen, and I'll go through. Is there anything peculiar on the body while I drag it over towards the wilderness a little bit more? Off the beaten path?
I would say for you, what's very peculiar is the lack of gold he's holding.
Yeah, well, it's very not peculiar. It's the fact that he was definitely going for mine. Let's, I'll check his corpse. Don't find anything too important, I assume. No letters, nothing like that.
You find his scimitar and light crossbow on him.
I know he's letting that go to waste. They're just gonna pocket that, throw it in the bag.
Alright.
And I guess since he's got nothing important on him, I'll at least give him his dignity, and I'll pull him off in the woods off the beaten path. Dig, not super deep grave, but enough that probably he'll be buried enough, and just go back up to my sleep for the night.
Alright. When you go right back to your cabin, you see like Meryl. Oh, I forgot to say actually. Oh my gosh, she did not say her name. Her name is Meryl.
All right, duly noted.
And you can see as you come back to camp from thinking that man is grave, she is up and attentive, definitely on guard, trying to make sure no one sneaky comes by.
All right, well, if he doesn't try to initiate conversation, I sure won't, and I just climb back up the tree and get into my hammock that I've got set up there.
Alright. And as you are going to sleep, you're going to make a transition back into the ship. This is about a couple months into the journey. You're about probably a week or so away from your destination. The trip's been fine overall, except for the constant noise and fighting and sea shanties that have been going on for the past couple months. It's all been open water, clear, bright, and just calm. So, as you are traveling, what would you all be doing at this point, a couple months in?
I start my day the same way I always do. 2 casts in arms, thrown overboard.
I think every day Lucy is just like goes to a different area of the ship and then just like notate like what kind of people go down or up wherever she is, vividly describing every person in her journal, writing how the ship is going, just like notating how the ship is ran and the people that are. It's pretty much all she does. She's just being a huge nerd.
I think Sarai would be quotation marks practicing, and by that he means just doing cool poses with his whip to make himself seem tougher than he is in his room, just to make sure that no one's around. And I guess in his actual spare time, he's probably figuring out, I guess, the anatomy of the ship, seeing how it works and everything. because it just seems fascinating to him.
I suppose I would be spending most of my days at the moment doing odd jobs, you know, just tidying up, keeping track of supplies, writing things down when needed. Don't particularly love writing, but it must be done. You know, just tightening the knots and generally taking all the other little jobs that the more long-standing crew members would consider themselves too proud for.
Alright.
I think Amara would still be keeping her distance. If anybody tries to talk to her, she'd just kind of ignore them or just glare at them. She sees no reason to make friends. Because once we get to our destination, we're gonna go our separate ways.
Since this part of the audio will be getting cut,
Yeah.
we can converse now.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, how y'all doing?
Doing
that
all
boat?
right.
Yeah. Boat's swaying. Lucy's taking notes of everything. Also, I've almost filled up a page.
Feels
so it's
like
random
home.
trash.
My notes
Nice.
are pretty great. My notes just say, I killed a dude and met a chick named Meryl. She's
Really?
genuine, but a bit sus.
You definitely.
That's right.
I say I have Captain Toughblood. Big fan of the continent Vulpus. He's a cool dude. He has a dope eye. That was one note that I took.
See, I have the great pleasure of, I'm not on the boat, so my notes are short.
Yeah. Also, like, this is definitely a pirate ship, not just like a
Oh, no, he's
sailing.
back.
What
Yeah,
gave
you're
that
correct here.
away? I'm wondering.
Uh,
You should probably.
While our DM's getting set up, I'm gonna go back to mute, so you ship boys have fun.
Also, I have "fuck Oliver" written down. I don't know why, but it just is.
nothing yet.
Come on, Michael. We've barely gotten into session 1 and you already hate his character?
No.
Haven't even had the chance to do any crimes yet.
Yeah.
That's very foreshadowing. You haven't done
I
crimes
see you.
yet.
I see you using
Yes,
your
yeah.
background already.
Alright. Before...
Yeah, I was gonna say, like. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go first.
I was just saying, like, you definitely see, like, Lucy just, like, taking notes on whatever you do. Like, if you're just wandering around the ship, she's following you and just taking.
Me?
Yeah.
You did hide when you
You're
first
like a
got on
weird
the ship.
rabbit person. Everybody else
That's
is,
a
like,
good point.
human or
You've
elf.
never seen a rabbit folk before.
Yeah, I was just saying, like.
We are exclusive to Vulpus. You and shit name Frank name.
Formic.
No,
Here.
Sierra.
Here.
Sierra.
Seer.
Yeah. Neither of you have ever seen a rabbit folk before, so
Well, also, I have, like, a weird dragon claw, so that's cool.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, the only weird thing I've done
Rabbits
is
are not that far.
toss
away.
casks over the
Yeah.
ship for a month straight.
Which, by the way, unlimited booze apparently.
You heard my comment.
It's a big
I
ship.
best get back to work.
It's a big ship. It's basically like a war vessel made into a passenger ship.
That's kind of sick, actually. But yeah, I think Lucy is just, like, mostly interested in Oliver, but, like, anytime she sees anybody else, she also, like, notates whatever they're.
And actually, I'll tell you something before or after this. So, for this next section, I will actually be talking to Amara herself.
Ooh.
So, if you'll head over
Questions.
to the one-on-one chat.
Okay. Cool.
On one of these coming days on the ship, you're sitting in the loft. There's not really much to do there. There's crew that kind of goes around doing random shit. But that doesn't really interest you. You kind of disconnect yourself from all of that. So something peculiar does happen. Something that hasn't happened in quite a while, honestly. You start to feel tired. You start to feel relaxed as you're in the bunk. As you lay there, your eyes getting heavy as it slowly starts to close, your body relaxes. The weight of the material realm starts to disappear, and the noise of the sea and crew starts to fade as your mind slips into the empty void that is sleep. You float there in this realm, blind, deaf, numb, and isolated. You've longed for this feeling, but finally able to fully separate yourself as you float there in nothingness. So, that does not last long. A new noise starts to appear from the void. The fear pops and cracks. The chirp of insects. You slowly start to smell your nose becoming enveloped of cooked meats and ale, and a warmth starts to blanket your body. Voices start to appear in the void. So you start to realize you recognize them. Your eyes shoot open as you stare wide-eyed in disbelief. In the fire's illumination, it confirms your suspicions. You see your friend drinking the mead you stole from your parents, partaking in the various meats and nuts that they've taken from theirs. How do you feel in this situation?
How do I feel?
Yes.
I'm happy. Relax. With my friend.
Does it bring a feeling of nostalgia? So, I think you would realize too is that you recognize this scene, you recognize what's about to happen, and that gnawing bread starts to bubble up from inside. As you're trying to do so, a voice whispers in your ear. Poor guy, poor young one. Old enough to enjoy life. It's so long to lose it all. How do you react?
Scream in terror.
And as you do so, that's when you start to notice your friend's voices are gone. The fire has been snuffed. The smell of savory meats are now gone. But the smell of iron is overbearing. And then you hear that noise, the noise that you've been trying to push out this whole time, that low growl. You hear is coming from behind. What do you do?
Run. As fast as I can. Crying because I see my friend on the ground.
Or in the shreds. The voice.
Run as fast as I can. Thinking I have to get away.
And as you do so, the voice chimes in again. This voice is very soothing. It's almost motherly in a sense. You experience the death of many your closest friends, but you've also experienced your death. The death of who you once were. You see a door in front of you as you're running through the forest.
I didn't even stop to think, like, why is there a door?
As you barrel through it, you bust in on a scene that is also familiar to you. The scene where you abandoned Senex. As it betrayed you, you hear the sounds of fighting, clashing metal, screams, and gargles of lives being lost. As you look ahead of you, you see your mother. And you see her so long, as she is desperate, scared, telling you to run. Go out the window, get out of here, run as fast as you can. How does Mara react in this situation?
Take one last look.
As you look back to see her one last time, she's bringing her plate out. And as you jump down, you hear men come in and her voice crack through the air as you're running. That voice comes back again. Your life taken from you, put into isolation for something that wasn't your fault. And only when you experience freedom, you experience more loss, more death, for those closest to you. How heavy your heart must be for that. As you're running, you hear footsteps clattering behind you, and as you are running, you trip on a loose stone and fall into a puddle. So, the scene changes. No longer you hear the footsteps, but your body is now starting to overheat. The cracks and pops of flames are intensified around you, and as you pick yourself up to look at your surroundings, you see the thing that you've been trying to forget the most, the one that brings you the most pain and despair. You see the golden men, uniformed and terrifying, as their blank eyes stare back at you as they stab into the person you've loved the most, the person who's taught you how to live with what you are, the one who accepted you in when no others had. Lifeless on the ground, his blood splattered on their armor. How do you react?
Gather every anger boiling through my blood. Grab my necklace and I unleash the most powerful spell I have on the person who did it. Crying out and screaming to the victim.
And as your spell fires off, you hit the man who struck down the lover. But as the spell hits and collides, that voice reappears again. Then, seemingly you defied life, taking everything that has happened to you and finding the happiness this person brought to you, only to be taken again by almost like a sick joke, your past following you somehow. And as it finishes that sentence, you see the people who ultimately struck you down that day come upon you. The voice chimes in again, only to experience your death a second time. As the swords start to come down upon you, you're put into a black inky void again, but this time with weight. You feel like you're walking on water as all this pain, all this tragedy, all this anger wells up in you. And you feel your emotions, the want to kill, the want to take revenge, the want to hide, rolling up inside you. The scene starts to change. You can smell the smell of blood, though this time smells sweet to you. You feel the anger kind of taking over. It's almost euphoric. You see bodies strewn about around you. You see what you wanted or what you think you want. The voice chimes in again. I know how tempting it is to succumb to these urges, to let it all out, to let it consume you. But as it does consume you, it also drowns you. The black ichor that you're standing on starts to form into multiple hands as it starts to drag you down. Your reaction.
Kick and throw and scream.
You try with all your might to break free, but though to no avail, as they bring you down, the water being thick as it fills your lungs. It's becoming hard to breathe, hard to move, hard to think how to do anything, as you're being dragged down into this abyss. The voice chimes in again. So, I know what you're going through. I can help you. The light starts to appear in front of you. The voice comes in. I need you to find me. To seek my guidance. You see a hand appear in front of you, reaching out for you. Do you grab it?
I think Sarah consumed by guilt. She feels guilty that she survived and feels that she deserves to die, but she grabs the hand. She wants to live.
Feel the hand with extreme strength pull you up. You don't see anyone around. You don't see the person who pulled you up. But what you do see is a tree in front of you. You get the feeling it's ancient and powerful. You hear frogs and crickets sing their symphony around you. As the voice comes in, a lot clearer and a lot closer. Almost like you can feel breathing on your neck. They show you how to take these feelings and make them of your own. Use them for your own strength, for your own goals. I can make it so it doesn't consume you. As you wake up.
I think Amara would wake up panting, shaken by what happened. And although she's very distrustful of the voice, and it sounds too good to be true, there has to be a cat. She's definitely gonna ponder it.
Alright. And with that, let's go back to the main chat.
Well,
No.
Alright.
Hey,
We'll put a pin in
we
that.
have to put a pin
yeah,
in that
we'll
stuff.
come back to that.
Oh. Alright. As we go back to the crew, Formic, you start to notice the air starts to feel electric.
Oh,
And as you come
frozen.
down into the sea, you see that the waters are turning from a bright blue to an inky black ichor.
Oh, that's not good.
You hear Tough Blood go, "Hey, I guess the sea bitch is giving us a warm welcoming."
Could be one of the others, but maybe I didn't throw it enough this time.
Let's see. As you look ahead of you, you see what seems to be a storm thing to you. Though this one's a little bit more nefarious in nature, almost looking like a mouth about to consume the ship.
Got a lot of fixing to do, I suppose, after this.
You can assume so, yes. Get the crew ready. Get Oliver. We need all hands on deck. About to be a wild one.
Yes, sir. And I immediately run below the deck.
As for running.
All of you lazy slacks, get up there. We have a storm brewing. You too, Oliver.
Very well. What do you want?
I need you up on deck. All hands.
And Oliver will head up there.
The captain kind of yell out, make sure to inform the guests. It's about to be a bumpy ride.
As for the other members, well, yes, I should say. I advised holding on to something. Maybe holding your valuables. Don't want to lose them. And
Lucy
I run
immediately,
back
like,
upstairs.
ties her shit down. Like, she takes rope out and, like, ties it to a post.
As Corbin is going up the stairs, you start to feel the ship start to rock. Like it's getting just pushed around by just unknown forces to you. But the Corbett, you see the waves are starting to get bigger and bigger, becoming more erratic. Rain starts to pour down, lightning starts to crack. The wind starts to howl as everything is just becoming just chaotic. You see crew members starting to do everything they can to prepare the sails, prepare for possible crash. Well, honestly. And to top it all off, you would expect, or actually no, you expected this. You look at the captain and he has the biggest smile on his face. He is laughing. He is singing shanties, preparing for what's to come.
Why don't we sing one good old Umberly? So that way we may get through this.
Bye. And we skip to literally 10 minutes later to the ship facing 50-foot waves as they start crashing down upon the little small ship. To the guests, you are getting rocked now. It is getting tough to stay on your feet, almost becoming almost start to free fall a bit.
So, we're getting tossed around, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think I'm just bracing myself with the stuff in the room we were given. Just like trying not to be tossed against a wall or under a desk or anything too much like that, but
And Seer, how do you react to this?
I would do the same. I'm pretty sure I'm also just bracing up against something, trying to live, I guess. I assume if it's rough, it's rough.
Yes, it is rough.
Laura awake.
At this point, yes. You would probably
Hope
expect
so.
to awake at the start of the storm.
Laura might try to like peek out to see what's going on if she could even move. Like due to the bumping maelstrom.
You have to make a dexterity check to see if you do. It's quite a struggle to get there. The most difficult being going up the ship. But as you peer out, you would expect the crew to be kind of panicking a bit with such rough waters. But no, they're celebrating even more. They're starting to drink more. They're starting to be a little bit louder, be a little bit more rowdier.
You probably see Formic actively bringing out more mugs and handing it to the other members of the crew. And occasionally, if something breaks off, he'll go up and start mending it.
And Oliver would be, it's pretty clear that he's not quite as comfortable as the rest of them. but you wouldn't be able to. But that's not necessarily conveyed through the grin on his face because it's just as big as anyone else on the deck. So he's just kind of he's getting tossed around a little bit, just like passengers are. He's not necessarily bracing himself as adeptly as the other sailors are, but he's just happy to be there.
Crazy ass sailor. I guess feel like that damn credit.
I was gonna say, do I see her on the?
You can definitely make a perception check to see if you do. I think if he's really caught up in like the excitement.
It is a fun time. Does a 19 pass?
I would assume so.
Lass, you might want to head back below deck. Come. And I quickly rush to bring her back downstairs. If you like, I can help tie you to a post so that we don't feel the sway as bad.
No, no, thank you.
Suit yourself. Back to the beds you go.
Thanks. They're very nice.
Good fun on this ship, I say.
And as you start to come back up the ship one, you see some of the crew members are kind of stunned in silence. They're kind of questioning the test. As you listen, you hear a slow rumble, almost a roar. As you look ahead, you see what looks like this big black wall starts to almost getting closer and closer. The size becoming more apparent. This thing is towering. Quite honestly, the biggest wave this crew has ever seen.
So wait, it's just a giant wave. Is all this is.
Yeah. It's one of those pesky rogue waves.
I am holding on for dear life.
What do you make of it, Tough Blood?
Seems like she's not too happy to see us.
My thoughts exactly. Well, can't save it now.
Nah,
Might as well try and get over it.
I think this calls for more drinks.
All right, I'll be back with them. Another round. How many?
As many as you can. This is going to be quite a story.
All right, I'll be back with more.
So we all see this wave, right?
You all probably wouldn't see it, but you hear it.
I was to say, as Formic goes down to like the room to wherever, as he like passes where we are, you just hear vomiting on the floor. Just like
You better clean that up yourself when this is
like
over with.
water hitting the floor over and over again.
As Oliver sees the wave, I don't know whether he would have taken a tankard. I would think he probably would have. Just
Are you
for the
trying
hell of
to
it?
relieve stress?
No, not stress. Just fitting in, as one does. And he would set his tankard down somewhere where it may not blow away. I don't. Probably tucked into a uneven floorboard or something, and run to the front of the ship to try to secure the mast as best he can. Well, not necessarily the front, but run to try to secure the mast.
As you all start to approach this monster of a wave, the ship starts to go up it. Start to slowly come parallel to the wave as... Again, the crew doesn't seem too worried. You hear the sea shanties happen, even as people are starting to fall off the ship and hit the side and fall away into the inky waters. I actually need everyone to make a dex save for me, please.
Alrighty.
As a 23.
Christ.
Is a 14 pass?
A 5 for me.
Oh no.
I've rolled a 19.
Luckily, you're below deck.
I don't know if that's a good thing though, but I rolled a 5.
Oh, well. So,
Depends whether the hole's breached.
for those of you who didn't pass, it is quite something. Thankfully,
You haven't
you're
said you
in-
had this.
So,
Who didn't?
let me specify actually. Lucy and Amora, you do not pass and get to experience the full glory of this wave as you start to kind of float in the air as the boat is starting to go 90 degrees up. Almost impossible in this bank. And as the wave crashes down, you going over it, your body slam into the room. Into the hard wood, cracking it a bit. I need you to roll me a D3 of damage.
Alrighty. One. Sick.
I got it.
Nice.
Alright. Yeah. I'll take my 1 point of damage for falling.
And to the rest of you were able to grab on to something sturdy that's not falling. As you're able to stay onto the ground, especially with those atop looking on deck. Even tankard in hand, some of you able to hold on and ride this wave out as the scream is become a wail as the waves crash down with a thunderous boom. And for Sia, you thought this was a small wave, nothing different. You don't know where all the noise is coming from, but you're quite surprised everyone is freaking out and how violently your two crewmates hit the ground.
Sick.
And with that, you hear cheers from aboard on top of the deck.
How many do you think we lost this time?
I think
Should we
about.
make a bet out of it?
I bet you 20 gold that it was 5.
Honey gold. I'll bet the same, but I'll bet 7.
I'll keep you up to that. Give you like just a hearty handshake, like the one that kind of like grabs your forearm.
And I return it.
And
Well, anyways, gotta check on the injured and whatnot.
probably want to check on our guests first. They're probably not too privy to this type of environment.
Yes. We'll see how they're holding up. There's a head back downstairs.
So, we're going to transition back to Rory. Now, Rory, after the somewhat exciting night, not really, wasn't too much of a challenge. Gotta make sure I get out my pirate voice. You're walking along the road. You're getting close to your destination. So you see kind of Meryl start to kind of get a little bit closer to you, not walking as far back. Definitely within earshot, so actually ask you a couple questions.
Alright. I'm fine with this. I can tell she's probably not a threat by this point. At least not enough of a threat for me to worry.
So, why are you heading to Anima? Anima Mea, by the way. Never got to ask you.
Just had to meet up with some friends. How about yourself? Why are you heading that way?
I don't get to travel much. This is actually my first time out. I wanted to make it a little bit memorable.
Well, I think this trip's been plenty memorable enough for you after all. I can tell you've been mugged.
Yes, of course. I've been, my possessions have been apprehended by some outsider, but it adds to the story a bit. I'm surprised you're not going for the, Unity Festival.
Unity Festival, Unity Festival. It's been a long time since all that shit happened. Might as well just head there to meet some friends, party a little bit while I'm there, but that's not the main point of it.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's for most people at at this point, but I heard rumors that this occasion is different. She kind of leans in a little bit closer as you're all walking. I heard they finally were able to make it back to the mainland.
Oh, you tell.
You've heard about that ship that was apprehended by Artmen and that new general, correct?
Yeah, the Silo group. I've heard about them.
Well, I had a friend who came by and said that they saw the ship heading back out, past the borders where the waters are safe. They haven't seen them return.
Oh, well, if you heard about it back then, probably about time for their return if they're heading back at this point.
Exactly. I have a feeling the celebration this year is going to be a little bit more lively because of it.
All it means is more drunkards.
Well, I feel like that would be the fun part, but yes.
So, why exactly are you heading to Anima Mea? I know I've already asked, but you just said you didn't get out much.
Well, I wanted to start off my adventure with a bang.
I'm just gonna take a note of that in my mind that she wants to start off her big adventure with a bang. And just duly note that, put a pin in that, seal that up for later. You know, definitely not sus at all.
What was your first adventure then?
Well, guess he was heading out in the wilderness. First time, learning how to swing a sword. Pretty exciting experience, you know. Being thrown out there told, you can do it, just don't run away, you'll get it. As I was attacked by a very large bear. Don't recommend that.
When did you start adventuring? When was that?
Let's see. Start kind of counting on my fingers. How old am I? It's been about probably like 10, 12 years ago.
Oh my, didn't know you started so young, especially fighting a bear. How did it? Of course you're alive, but did you slay it?
No, no one slays bear their first time. They kind of just run away, maybe pee your pants a little bit, general stuff. You know, you eventually get it. Just takes some time.
You kind of see like her face is just like in awe, just like, oh my god.
By the way, I've just been walking. I haven't looked at her. I know she's beside me and peeking around and everything. I've just been straight faced the entire time.
And as you're about one day out, this is the night at this point. The campfire is definitely a lot closer than the incident.
Yeah, I'm letting it slide. I know I can generally agree she's not trying to murder me yet, if she's going to.
He's definitely trying to get out of you different stories of different travels, information about different lands, and just, and all in all, just curious about everything.
You get general odds and ends that people probably could pick up by just asking around anyone. Nothing super specific.
And as you head off into your deep slumber, something familiar happens that I need to talk to you one-on-one about.
Alright, let's go back over there.
Alright, so, just like we kind of discussed, back then, you do get these weird visions that kind of come back every so often.
Yeah, pain in my ass.
But this one is a bit different. You get the usual enveloping smell of this disgustingly sweet smell of rot, and the screams of many, but something else kind of occurs that kind of catches you off guard. You feel this overwhelming sensation of warmth and a deafening boom crack in your ears.
Alright.
So, fairly still imagery.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be fun. I remember a loud boom and a crack. It didn't end well for me. Well, I don't really remember. I remember being told.
You know, you heard it for like a split second before you just kind of like woke up, like, the fuck?
Yeah, that was a painful experience. I woke up many days later.
Alright. And that was the dream.
Okay, so same dream but loud noise.
breaking in onto the journey, at Journey's End at sea. The crew on the ship, or hired players on the ship, are starting to make it onto land into a small shanty town known for their sailors, Innsmouth. After that rocky journey, the ship isn't looking too well. It has been battered and bruised. There's some panels that are missing, cracked and bent. Even some of the tendrils, the beautiful tendrils that you saw in the beginning there's probably about 2 of them left after that whole experience. So, yeah, the ship parked itself into the harbor and slowly starts letting everyone off. What's your reaction making it onto land now?
Lucy can't wait any longer. Possibly could not be any more happy. Although the ship was interesting to her, much happier to have her solid, or like a solid footing on ground.
Alright, Amora.
Amara's been battered and bruised by the ship. She's done dealing with these crazy sailors and the waves tossing her about and just ready to put her feet back on land.
I am Seer.
He is wide-eyed. That was one hell of a trip. He was excited the whole time. He's going. The waves. He loved every moment. But he gets back on land. That Pirates of the Caribbean movie with Johnny Depp kissing the dirt. Yeah. About him right now.
Alright. And as you're looking into the town, it's simply your standard small town. Nothing really too special to see here. It's about probably a dozen or so buildings, but there still seems kind of lively. Maybe it's the new land you're experiencing. Maybe it's the so-called magic or mysteries they've been talking about. And with that, as you were all getting your stuff, I actually need to talk to Lucy by herself for a second.
Oh, sick. Alright, so...
There we go. Alright. So, as you are kind of packing your things, making sure nothing like flew out during that freakish weather experiments you've experienced, you notice that there's something in there that you don't recognize. It's paper. It's an envelope, actually.
Okay, yeah. Definitely, like, take it out and is there a specific seal to it, or
There's
is
a
it just like folded paper?
there's a seal to it. It's a little bit hard to recognize. It's kind of like an arrow with like two horns sticking out from the sides. The paper in
Okay.
itself smells peculiar. It almost smells like firewood and ash.
Okay.
As you open it, it's in a language that actually, right quick, does your character speak Draconic?
I do speak Draconic.
Alright. So as you open it, you immediately recognize the language as Draconic. It states immediately, like, oh, welcome, welcome, thank God you're here. We've been waiting for you all this time. Especially now when we kind of need you the most. I know this is kind of getting a little confusing, but in time, things will start to make sense, and I do wish I could be there with you to explain things a bit, but sadly that time may have passed. But there's somewhere you may be able to find, though it may be hard to get in. There may be something at you at Anima Mea that could explain more, but for now, I just wish to say, welcome home.
Okay, I am aware that Anima Mea is like the capital or something.
Oh, shit. Vulpus, oh my god.
Vulpus, okay.
Alright, I'm gonna have to
Vulpus.
restate that right quick.
Alright, no, you're good. No, Vulpus is fine.
Um,
So, welcome to Vulpus. With that, does it have like a signing of a person? Like, did somebody sign it, or is it just like the letter knows who I am, but I don't know who wrote the letter?
the letter knows who you are, but you don't know who sent it, or...
Okay, cool. And it's in Draconic. And it says, welcome to Vulpus, waiting for you for a specific reason, correct? Like, they alluded to like I was needed, but didn't tell me what the problem is.
Yeah, exactly. It seemed like...
Okay.
If you're gonna look at the letter, if you wanted to make like an insight check just from the letter...
Yeah. Could I also make like a history check to be like if it's like old Draconic or like current age Draconic?
Sure.
Alright. I'm gonna make the insight check first because I'm not that great at that. Insight of 9.
The letter is definitely peculiar. You wonder it's kind of like a prank from one of the crewmates.
Alright, and then history check to see like what time the language is from.
Yeah.
An 8. Jesus Christ, I'm rolling like trash. I have a +5 to that.
I know, I saw that. I was like, wow. Alright.
Alright, my character's dumb. It's fine.
You're just like... Well,
It's
Draconic's
just-
Draconic.
Draconic's Draconic. Okay, cool. So it's like, there's no hints of like, if it's like... Basically, like, I wanted to know if it was like Old English or Saxon English.
Right,
Like, that's...
exactly.
Yeah, like, I
No.
can't tell.
The
Cool.
only thing you get is just like, it's weird. Like, you've been holding on to your bag this whole time, and it kind of just slipped in there. Strange. But, alright.
Okay. Yeah, sick. Cool. I'm gonna have to contemplate that.
Alright.
Alright. Back to the other chat.
Yep, back to general.
No, never mind. I keep wanting to say it, and they keep coming back right then.
But
Put
do you
a
want
pin
to
in it,
say?
we'll come back to it.
Put a pin in it.
Just like the Latin fuck, right? That's not.
I'll talk about a fan-made magic item later.
Oh, okay. So, as everyone is kind of heading off the ship, the tough blood goes to you, Formic, and kind of specific. You know, you've been part of this crew for a while now. Seems like you haven't had a break lately.
But I love the sea.
Of course.
What is there? What is there to miss out on?
Of course, nothing else, but as you can see from the ship, it's a little bit decommissioned for a while.
Aye. Mending can only get you so far.
And speak of which, kind of looks over to see if Oliver's around. Oliver, come over here. I need to talk to you, too. So,
Very well. What was it you wanted to talk about?
so, seeing that we're going to be on land for a bit, and I've been kind of talking to the crew to send them out to maybe talk to people they don't normally do or experience things. I want you to go with our guest here to see what's going on in the old capital. Maybe get some more pay out of our king, to say.
Oh, excellent. Of course, I will be very, very happy to accompany them. I will take them to go see my nephew. I believe he's performing in a tavern nearby.
Sure. Well, sure, of course. If you can. I was told that there was an escort coming by, but there may be time, of course.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't want to throw a wrench in your plans or anything. But
No, don't do anything stupid now. I've noticed your odd behavior at the mainland.
oh, you and I both know I cannot make that guarantee.
Aye. Alright, you better get going along. And
Very well. Toodaloo. And he will quickly remove himself from the ship with his belongings.
aye. No,
Odd one hears.
he is indeed. That's why I'm assigning you to kind of look over him a bit. Make sure he doesn't get himself into another situation.
All right. That means we're gonna have to drag him to the temple, though.
Wherever you think is necessary.
Well, it has been a while. I should pay her a visit.
Just I would definitely say, make sure he doesn't accidentally become someone's soup.
I'll do my best, though. Fuzzbutt will have to fend for himself.
My guy really got a babysitter job.
And then Formic goes back to his place, gathers up all his tools and his equipment. And before going off the ship, he says to Ball, "Oh, by the way, I did leave you all plenty of ale while I'm gone. Please, celebrate for the both of us."
Oh, we will be. And here, we tosses you a bag. This is for our bets.
So I was right.
Yes, there was unfortunately, but also fortunately, 7 people who are now in the inky depths.
Well, better than years past.
That's your... I'll put a mug up for that.
Cheers. All right. I'll be off then. Try not to wreck the ship any further while I'm gone.
Don't know how I can, but I'll do that. Alright, and now we head off into the main group and the town.
Yeah, can I just say something quick?
Yeah, of course.
I think as like we're all getting off board and all that, I think everybody else, because my character's super blatant and not good at hiding her emotions and all that, she's just like staring at this letter and all that, and like as Formic is like carrying his gear and all that, because she's like noticed he's kind of like a figure of an authority. She like straight up goes, like shows him the letter that she has. He goes, "Can you read this?"
Give me a moment. Puts down his stuff, grabs the paper from her.
It's in Draconic, so
No, don't think I can. Are you looking for someone to read it?
no, I can read it myself, but does anybody on board of the ship you know, or even the captain, speaks and or write in Draconic?
Let me... actually, I do know of one. Would you like me to ask them?
It's just the letter appeared in my pack once I was double checking and retrieving all my gear.
Do I
Alright.
see them handling
Oh
the
yeah,
letter?
oh, she's being Lucy is
I-
being super
We're
Sarah's
not- we're not
going
being
over
sneaky about
there.
this.
Yeah.
Sarah goes over there. I guess you know how you two have like your heads just staring at it. He goes in between you two. And he's like, "Let me check this out." And I just stare at the letter. And while I don't have a detect magic, can I actually tell just by looking at on a check or something to see if this is of magical origin?
Yeah, you can definitely make an Arcana check to see if typically magic in origin.
Oh, and by the way, will Sela tell me what language it's in?
Yeah, she told you it's like in Draconic.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 20.
Oh my god!
Everybody's balling but me. I can't roll word trash.
Don't have your DM button.
No, I don't.
Well, see, you definitely can tell that this is very peculiar. It definitely has, like, it's almost like a residue. Like, this was magic that was already activated and now gone, but it leaves kind of like this after effect to it that kind of fades a bit.
Am I able to discern what kind of magic this is?
Well, with that crit, yes, you are. You definitely tell that it kind of popped in.
Swarm teleportation magic, I guess?
Yeah, so abjuration.
Abjuration, there we go. That's what.
Abjuration's the school.
And he goes to Lucy and
Teleportation.
goes, looks like some, he doesn't, looks like some, how did you find this, per se? And he just, not looks over towards her.
It just appeared in my pack on this last day. Oh, sorry, conjuration is, sorry, my bad. Abjuration is like shielding and protections. Harrison, you are correct. Anyway, she looks at you, she goes, it just appeared in my pack, either the day or the day before we arrived here, most likely, but I was gathering all my items before we got back on land, and it's here now.
And Sarah goes, it appears to be some form of conjuration magic that just appeared in your bag. And there's this language, and he sees, I guess he doesn't really know the language, but, can he actually, would it be an investigation or a history check to see how old this thing is? Or would it be another Arcana check? I guess with that Arcana check I
Does
made
it
before.
look old? How
Yeah, does it
about
look old? Yeah. Like, can I discern, like,
I would say,
I guess can I discern when it was written? Like, or how long ago or how old it was?
if you want specific, like, kind of like more of a general, like, how old it is, you would definitely have to roll, like, an investigation check, a history check.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
from the quick description, the page is starting to kind of yellow a bit.
Like, is it yellowing unnaturally? Quickly?
It's, well, this is my back. From what you saw, it was kind of, when you opened it, it was kind of still yellowed a bit. Like, you know how paper is kind of starting to age?
Yeah, so, okay, got it, yeah. It's not like yellowing like, supernaturally fast. Okay.
I'm
Still
still
very
gonna.
clean, though. No dust or cobwebs.
I'll call out the ball. Hey, ball. Ball, I got a question.
Oi! Yeah, what you want?
Where's Shoulders?
What?
Shoulders or Warren?
I think they're passed out.
Ah, damn it! I was hoping he could read something.
I could try to wake them, but,
Well,
Forget it. It's
actually,
drunk,
sir,
he's drunk.
I can read it. I was just wondering if anybody could divine a bit more out of it.
Oh, well, we had a dragonborn on the ship, but he's a fighter, not a magician.
That answers the question.
I don't know,
Thank
he's quite a magician with how much he drinks.
It's a wonder how he puts it all in, isn't it?
Out of curiosity, Sarah asks Lucy, so what's it say? if you don't mind.
To put it bluntly, somebody was waiting for me to do something for them, but has yet to disclose such task. And the last line says, "Welcome to Vulpus."
Neat. And then I just hand her back the letter.
Also, at this point, I think she realizes she hasn't like formally introduced herself to anybody. She's just been like a nerd writing, and she like looks at Formic and looks at Sarai, and it's Sarai, Seer,
Yeah, Sarai.
Here.
Sarai.
Oh, I can sing the song.
And by
It's
the way,
fine.
I don't think any of us have introduced ourselves.
Yeah,
formally,
and
so-
she like puts out her left hand, which is her human hand, to like shake, and she goes, "Lucilla Silverbell, librarian of soul."
Sarai goes and says, Sarai Petra, I don't really hold a prestigious position like you, but
It's
pleasure to meet
not a prestigious position. It's just one I love.
fair point. Nice to meet you anyway. And Sarai is like, kinda,
Also,
he's tipping his hat.
yeah. Also, if my friends call me Lucy, if that's just easier for you.
Yeah, Miss Lucy. That'll be good.
All right, and like she like sticks her hand out to Formac and to like shake it, but it's her
Stick
left
out the
hand.
weird. Don't be afraid. Stick out the other arm as he puts out with his right.
She like looks at it at like this blue scaled clawed hand and just like
That doesn't scare me. And he
grips
He
it.
gives her a hearty handshake. Formic Cascar, cleric to the goddess Umberly. Well,
Interesting. All
in
that.
trade with, I should say.
Yes, sacrifices to Umberly to make quick passage, an easy passage. Read up quite a bit about the gods while I was back in Seoul.
Yes. Sacrifices in a sense for passage.
She nods and like takes her letter and like folds it back up and like puts it on like in like a pouch she has strewn almost like a courier bag where like her journal and like quill and ink sits, and that's like all that's in it. And then she has like a backpack.
Quick question here. Did Lucy mention where she was from?
Just the Library of Soul.
Just from the Library of Soul. So Sarai sees like, I guess he kind of notices it now that she extends her left hand. Then Formic points out to extend her right hand.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "You don't happen to be from Senex, are you, miss?"
Yes. Actually, I'm from a small town outside of Seoul. I don't know my parents, but my adoptive father took me in. He's a small blacksmith from a town outside of Seoul.
And then Sarah actually reveals like he has little tassels that hide that they don't really hide them too well, but you can tell that if he stands still, his ears are hidden.
Yeah.
He'll is like, I understand, and he just kind of shows that to her. And
Yes, the library is the only place I could find peace, even though I am. She like gestures to herself. Human, but not in their eyes, as you know.
I understand.
Formic
And
gives the both of you a hearty slap on the back. Don't hide yourselves here. This is a friendly place. Well, friendly enough. They won't judge you for your appearance.
Well, that's always nice to hear. And she like gets all her stuff back on her back and her pouch back together and all that kind of stuff. And he's just waiting to be led somewhere.
yeah,
Like she's waiting to follow somebody.
I think Amara would have just like lingered around to see what they were up to, like I guess trying to overhear what the letter was about, and Formic said don't hide yourself because Amara would kind of raise her eyes.
And I
I
think,
see if she's walking away.
You can make that perception
Is she
check.
inside?
You can make that perception check to see if you see it.
All right. Does the 17 work?
She wasn't trying to hide herself, so you do see her kind of walk off. You don't see the eye rolling, but you kind of see her just kind of trying to slink her away.
You there, Miss Silent and Dreadful. Get over here. You have to be with the group, unfortunately.
Wait, do I have to be with the group?
You do what you
I'm
want.
making you in here.
Okay, if I can do whatever I want, then I'm just hold.
Formic goes after.
And you can head to Oliver to see what's he doing.
Well, I would think that Oliver, having left the boat in a rather expeditious manner, would have made it a few hundred yards down the road before he realized that there's a group he's supposed to be with at the moment, and probably would have turned around. Which, in all honesty, he probably would have turned around, seen the conversation happening, and began to head back towards the group. And then I suppose he would stop, as I would assume that their paths would cross. Is she walking like down the road away from the group, or is she just walking off into the woods somewhere?
Walking down the road away from the group.
Then I suppose as Amaru, am I saying that right? Amara. As Amara passes him, he would kind of pivot on one foot and begin walking and match his pace to hers and walk alongside and just kind of. Oh, now, where are we off to?
Why do you need
Oh, no particular reason. I just find I quite enjoy knowing where I'm going at any given moment. You see, the long journeys, they hold a special place in my heart, of course. But it does pay to know a final destination. Otherwise, how will you know when the journey's over?
Why don't you go figure out your final destination and go make your own?
As much as I'd love to do that, and believe me, I would. But the captain over there, which, right crotchety old man if you ask me, has told me that I must be guiding you all. So for being as Formic is already back with the rest of the group, I'm afraid that leaves me to accompany you.
I don't need surveillance, and I don't need a police.
You hear clanging from behind.
On that we are agreed, my dear. But the captain's orders are the captain's orders. And until such time as I am formally not employed by the ship anymore, I'm afraid I will have to follow them.
Now, when I told the two of you to stop, you stopped.
Amar just huffs, crosses her arm.
Alright, I pulled my headset cable out there. What happened?
When I told the two of you to stop, you stopped.
Well, I was asking, well, what was Amara's reaction?
Oh. He just turns around and glares, I guess, crosses her arms and huffs. Like, why is there this disturbance? I just want to go along in peace.
And with that, seeing her turn around, Oliver will kind of leap about a half step forward, and then turn to look at Formic and give a friendly wave. And say, "Well, it appears we're at our destination for now. Would you like to come over and join us?"
You forget that they're supposed to be escorted
Oh no, not at all. That's why I'm with her.
by somebody else coming by.
Oh, that part he had not told me.
No, I think you heard.
Oh, I apologize. You must be mistaken. Although my ears are rather large, I'm afraid I'm not, they're not particularly sensitive to that which goes on when I'm not paying attention.
How tall are you again?
5 feet.
I reach for the scruff of your neck.
Oh, have you actually come over to us? Okay. So yeah, at this point you're.
When I said it, I was near you.
Oh, all right.
Some in-party fighting already. Oh my.
What are we gonna do here? Are we gonna go for a grapple?
I
Are
can.
they distracted with each other?
I'm keeping my eye on
Yeah.
you while I'm doing this. I'm not keeping you out of sight.
He's kind of like doing like the whole parent like. Matter of fact, this is actually very relevant for today. Kind of like how I watch like my two little siblings. Make sure I keep an eye on both of them. That's what Formic is doing with both of you right now.
Yeah, Formick's just being a good dad.
And you are taller.
Yes.
I have one taller child and I have one smaller child.
Alright, so how do you all react to this ordeal? Is there gonna be a
Oliver would definitely try to twist his way and just kind of avoid the hand. But out of instinct more than anything else. So, I mean, if he would like to do so, I would think that that might be a contested check of some form.
yes? That would
Yeah.
definitely be.
So the rules of grappling is whoever's grappling makes an athletics check. Whoever's defending is athletics or acrobatic.
All right. I rolled a 10.
Oh my.
And I
Here's
rolled an
hoping.
18.
Nope, you got out.
So, I would, you would reach out for what would appear to be my neck at the moment, but Oliver is able to twist his neck away and just kind of maneuver himself, almost rotating around you.
Whatever, just follow me.
Of course, of course. I must say, are the others following?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
still
like right
waiting.
there. Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you guys were still
yeah,
waiting.
no. I'm like 5-10 feet behind you.
Yeah,
And
I have nowhere to go, so I'm probably following Lucy.
Yeah. Somebody's waiting for me somewhere.
The first stop was going to be the temple.
Do I know where that is?
Temple? You wouldn't know exactly, but from your best guess, it'd probably be the capital, quite honestly. That's where all the hubbub and where, like, the central hub of everything is at, usually.
Now, where is the temple I'm referring to?
The temple you're referring to is back at home.
I thought this was.
So, the place that you were born at, because this is in human territory, it'd be a little bit hard for a dwarven family to kind of move in and make a life here at the time, especially at how old you are. So the one you are referring to would be at the dwarven capital. But since you do follow the religion, you will have known that there's also one at the capital of the human territory, that's Anima Mea.
Now, we're going to head back a little bit. Wait a while. If nobody comes, we'll make our own way. Agreed?
Very well.
Nodding.
Yeah, Lucy just nods.
Sarah's confused. Okay.
And after all, kind of having this confrontation, you hear kind of these steps of like horses coming by and like the creaks of wood from a wheel as you see men clad in armor, very exquisite armor, very decorated and some glowing with a blue hue come by. One comes up and goes, I'm guessing you're all the ones we're supposed to be transporting.
To my knowledge, that is the case.
Well, no time to do it, Allie. We have places to be, and we don't want to make King Artman wait now. We don't want
I do agree.
Oh, I couldn't have said it better myself. Let us be going then.
That pushes you all to the carriage. You kind of step in. It's actually quite nice. Nicer than you would expect. There's little cushions inside there for your all's bum. Now, they weren't expecting 2 people to also come with them, so they kind of had to scrounge up something really fast to make some seating for you all, but it's
Which do?
the, you, Formic, and Oliver.
Listen, we were told to come with. That's all I know.
It's kind of just like, we're already late as it is, let me see if we can scrounge up something right quick. Kind of get like it's still a comfortable cushion, but
I don't need a cushion, don't worry.
Oh,
I'll
don't-
just sit.
I don't mean to be about it. I'll happily stand.
Whatever you say, I'll just leave this here or whatever. Let's get going. He's kind of like doing like the whole like thing. He's kind of like clapping a bit as they kind of just start heading off. And as you're all about to arrive at Anima Mea, it takes a couple hours. It takes quite a bit of the day, actually. But eventually we all make it there. We will head over to Rory to get an update on her. Hi, Rory. After a day's travel is getting closer to, is way past midday, kind of getting close to the evening time, you do make it to Anima Mea in all its glory and opulence. It's honestly how you kind of remember it since the last time you've been. Though it's always kind of awe-inspiring. All the lavish structure, all the lavish statues kind of engraved into the wall. And it's kind of like a stacking type of thing. You don't know how they really do it, but each level seems to get higher and higher until it reaches to the top. We see kind of like this blue light kind of shooting from it. And Meryl's there kind of just wide-eyed, kind of just like in disbelief.
Alright.
Alright, and as you are approaching the building, you do see the carriage come by. Very lavish indeed, the carriage is definitely meant for those who are of major importance.
Well, I don't want to get run over, so, kind of get out of the way of the carriage.
You see individuals of different types come out. Some with blue scales, a dwarf, a rabbit folk, which I haven't seen in a while. A woman of pale complexion, and someone with peculiar attire, more something you haven't seen here. A half elf. Meryl kind of
Although-
chimes in. Oh, you go first.
Go ahead. All those piqued my interest, I'm not too concerned.
Meryl kind of like leans in and he says, "See if we can I think those are the people from the mainland."
I say as kind of nonchalantly as I'm not really concerned with them. They aren't why I'm here.
I wonder if we can wonder if they're going to somewhere important. Maybe kind of just to kind of lose their train of thought for a second. Like, I wonder if they're going to the top over there.
As I'm gonna mention, as Sari steps out of the carriage, he's probably frantically looking around because he hasn't seen these things before. Does he see these two? Because I'm wondering if they stick out like a sore thumb because it's a lady with a great sword and I guess a battered lady. What I
Definitely see them unless they're trying to hide. But I wouldn't do that.
they'll just notice them and just wonder. And there's a variety of people here, I guess. Just walk along to where he was supposed to go.
As they head off, I look to my semi-recent companion in the form of Meryl and go, "Well, we made it to the city. Guess this is where we part ways."
Yeah, but we could always, we can always celebrate together a little bit. Doesn't have to be where we part ways. If I have an idea we could maybe do.
I'm not one for crazy ideas. Tell me your plan, and if I agree to it, I might consider it. But otherwise, I plan to just head into the city, get a nice sleep indoors. It's been a while.
Yeah, well, that's perfect. You look at those escorts over there, they're not really paying attention to who's here. I wonder if we can get a free ride to the top, to the life of luxury a bit.
After hearing this, Rory just stops and just walks into the city, not paying attention to Meryl anymore.
Kind of just like, and shock is like, but just think about it, they're not paying attention. It'd be easy, just be easy.
I look her dead in the eye and go, "Do I look like the kind of person who needs a free ride to the top?" As I walk into the city afterwards.
Kind of just bewildered, just like, but I don't know what to say. I wasn't trying to insult you or anything. You're the only person I know here. Just kind of see her contemplating, like, do I go for a plan or do I follow the only person I really know here?
As she is still continuing to contemplate her plan, you see Rory just, do the wave over her shoulder as she heads deeper into the city towards the district that is known for inns, taverns, and food.
Alright, so as you head in, she's like, shit. She just kind of like this runs towards you, like, she's like, I can't be here by myself. Alright, and so from what you remember, so where you get the majority of, like, the merchants is definitely the second level of the kingdom. So this is known as the merchant circle, where a lot of the living merchants are at. There's quite a bit of good booze and everything else here. So, how do you proceed?
Well, my first, order of business, gotta go check in at an inn. Gotta go, start looking around there. Are there any inns I would remember in this kind of district that either we've stayed at before or I've heard good rumors about that are not too expensive, but definitely not like someone's gonna break into the room at night?
So, from what you remember, I need you to make me an intellect, just a pure intelligence roll to see if you can remember.
I can attempt. It will be interesting. How about a 4?
You do not remember. That lightning strike must have hit you hard, because you gotta forget a lot of
Now, I
information.
would like to just go ahead and just place this here, being my wanderer background
Ah.
feat. I do remember everything where I've been, so I probably would remember this, even if I don't remember exactly the prices.
So, you do remember one name, the chiseled marbled N, somewhere that you kind of remember fondly of. So, you do not remember the prices. You do remember the food and drink.
It'll be perfect. It's perfect. Just through your head, like, I can't remember any prices. Just, it's party time. I just a little bit if it's too much. I don't remember too much about it. It's been a couple years.
Going into it, you gotta see Merrily. Are you like even paying attention as she's kind of following you, or just like kind of just going your way?
I'm going my way. I bid her goodbye. You know, we weren't close companions. She traveled with me for like 3 or 4 days. I told her to keep the distance. She kind of got closer. I'm not gonna pay for her in. I gave her food and drink. She can figure it out.
Alright. Alright. So as you head into the end, you do get hit with a wave of nostalgia. This is somewhere you haven't been for a while, but also somewhere you kind of just remember really, or it's kind of the same thing. Somewhere you remember fondly of. It's nothing too extravagant, though the exterior may tell you otherwise. The buildings in this area are made of just decorated stones of different facades, kind of displaying sometimes advertisements, sometimes history, sometimes just a sign for the store. The exterior is kind of just surrounded by different columns, all kind of decorated. Something resembling of like the Corinthian style during the Greek age.
All right.
And as you head in, the smell immediately hits you with different cooked meats of different like the savory flavors and smells. You see kind of the delicacies of different sweets, some that you can't really find anywhere else. And you see their ale and remember that this is probably the third best place you can find ale.
All right. Well, looks like I know where I'll probably be staying.
Alright.
I head on in and head up to the counter and you know, get a quote on the price for probably about a week or so. It's about, how long would you say until the festivities start?
You see kind of this kind of tall individual, this tall man. Has kind of like blonde, long hair. Some of it's kind of tied up in a crudely made ponytail. Like, well, well, you see, the festivities are actually starting today, of all things, just in time.
Perfect. I guess, how much would a price for about 3 days be?
For about 3 days? Kind of crowded right now. I say about 5 gold.
I kind of think on it for a minute. Let me check something real fast. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and pay the 5 gold. I'm not gonna fight it, because after all, food is included, like meals are included with the stay, right?
Of course.
Yeah, then I'll just go ahead and pay the 5 gold you said it was.
5 gold.
All right, I reach in my pack and pull out the 5 for me and hand it over to him and go. By the way, has anyone by the name of Tarkus checked into the end recently? We got separated on the way. We're supposed to meet back in the city somewhere.
Tarkus. The name definitely sounds familiar. I think it's definitely been here before. Were you with him last time you all came here?
Yeah, we were traveling together. We got separated out in the wild, you know. Can't ever predict the weather out here.
Right. Yes. Well, I would assume he's here, though oddly, he hasn't come here.
Alright. I'll check around town, but thanks for keeping me up to date. If he does check in here, let me know.
Of course. Anything for, good customers.
Alright. I say, so, about that room, what number I got?
You got, number 9.
Alright. I, take my key and I'm gonna go ahead and just toss off my pack into number 9. Get all the stuff that definitely is weighing me down too much in there.
Gotcha. And just like everything else in Anima Mea, it's overly extravagant with like different decoration, glowing lights. Though the bed is extremely comfy, it's almost hard to resist sometimes. to just fall asleep.
Yeah. Good beds. Beds are good.
Mm. And you kind of notice around you that things are definitely becoming more lively. You see more people out. You see more people drinking in public. You see booths, music. You see some party games. You see markets start to form.
All right. Sounds pretty good.
Mm.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna, unload all the crazy stuff I probably don't need in the city, like the, bedrolls and the hunting traps, all that stuff. Leave it in the room. Sling on my essentials I keep in my pack, and I'm gonna head out for probably a nice lunch and then do some reconnaissance around the city, see if anyone's heard anything about Tarkus.
Okay. If you want to, you can definitely make a investigation check.
All right. I am not very good at this. How about a 3?
Ooh, well, too many people are getting drunk and rowdy for you to kind of tell from individuals.
Did I at least find a nice lunch?
Yeah, you found a nice lunch. Like, the inn you're in makes, like, quite exquisite meals.
Nice. I'll definitely pick up a nice lunch of braised lamb.
And as you're kind of moving around, it seems like either no one has heard of them on this level, or everyone's too drunk. It's hard to tell.
Probably a mixture of both.
Alright, and then how do you proceed after that?
Well, I'm not gonna find anything here. Might as well go around the city. What are the current events for today, since the festivities have just started? Any standouts for today?
Everything's like kind of like a standard. Like you have like on this floor you kind of have some like mediocre bars kind of like chiming in. There's not really a lot of room to like set up like. You kind of get word of festival games happening, though that's happening at the upper level of the city.
Alright.
That are kind of going on.
I've got some gold floating around on me. I'll probably head up a level if I can get up there.
Alright. And with that, we can head over to the other crew. Because you would probably be intercepting either behind them or intercepting them at this point. Alright, as we make it into the other crew, just right quick, are we doing good our time, or do you all want to stop here?
Let's call it here. We've been going for another hour.
That's a good hour, and I think that's a good place to stop.
Just stop, yeah.
Yeah, right before the actual meeting of the crew.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's a session 0.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it.